Hello and welcome to the first episode of Honestly Delicious. My name is Tessa and I am your host. I'm really excited to be here with you today. I actually partnered up with my local grocer, Ralph's, to bring to you, drumroll please, my classic herbed butter Thanksgiving turkey. It's easy, it's flavorful, incredibly juicy. I promise you anyone can do it. I'm here to show you a couple of tips and tricks that's gonna make it effortless and ensure that you get a flavorful, juicy turkey every time. So, let's do it. Okay, so one question people usually ask whenever they even think about doing a turkey is how big of a bird do you get? Well, they say about 3/4 of a pound per serving, but I'm here to tell you if you want leftovers, which who doesn't want leftovers, a pound per person is definitely the way to go. So that's that. So once you get your bird all defrosted, you want to make sure you rinse it thoroughly and pat it dry. Drying it off with some paper towels is really important because that's going to make sure that our herbed butter sticks to it. So that brings me to the best part, the herbed butter. Now, this is 2 sticks of unsalted butter down to room temp that I then mixed sage, rosemary, parsley, and thyme with. So that's what this is, and it looks beautiful. So the bird needs to be nice and dry before you rub this on to make sure that it sticks to it. So your hands are going to get dirty, so just be aware of that. You're going to rub it all on the outside of the skin and also underneath of the skin. Okay, so after that herbed butter is all over the top of the bird and also under the skin, don't forget to rub some inside of the cavity as well. You can then go ahead and stuff your bird. So I'm stuffing mine with half of an onion. It's a white onion. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put in, my lemons are a little small, so I have 2 lemons just cut in half. I'm gonna pop in there as well. And then a lot of fresh herbs because fresh herbs are always a nice addition. There's going to be some leftover butter, which as you can see here, there's actually quite a bit left, probably about half. So I used a lot of it and I really lathered it up, but I'm now going to melt this in a pot, and I have a little trick up my sleeve for you that helps keep the bird nice and moist. Okay, so the next trick I have is a fun one that I kind of swear by. It keeps the skin from getting too brown, but it still infuses it with flavor. So this is just a piece of cheesecloth that I cut and then submerged in water, and then I wrung it out. So there's some wetness to it already. And I'm now going to dip this in that remaining melted butter that we had left over from rubbing the turkey. So I'm gonna dip this cheesecloth in the butter and really try to soak up as much of the butter in the cloth as I can. Definitely let the butter cool down for a minute before you do this, otherwise you could definitely burn yourself because it's very hot. So just be careful with that. There will be herbs and that's okay. And then you're just gonna drape this over the turkey. Okay, so now that my cheesecloth is on top of my turkey, it's now time to fill the bottom of the pan with some chicken broth. So I'm just gonna open up, I'm gonna use 2 containers of it. Trust me, you'll want it because you're gonna want it for the gravy. Now that everything is done, it's time to pop it in the oven. I'm putting this in a 450-degree oven for about 40 minutes, and then I'll decrease the temperature to 350 and bake until the internal temp is 165 degrees. Make sure that you use your own meat thermometer and don't always trust the pop-up timer because it can be off a little bit. So be sure to double check it. So now that the turkey's done, it's time to make the gravy. And gravy is one of those things that people also get intimidated by, but it's really not that difficult as long as you have a fat separator, which is what this beauty is, then all is well. So let's get to it. I have 6 tablespoons of butter in this pot. I'm gonna melt that down. All right, and that is done. All right, let's do it. Dip this in the gravy. that is honestly delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous Thanksgiving.